Our next special tab is the Slider Tools tab. Like the Table Tools tab, this tab has two tabs associated with it: Design and Format. Let's start with the Design tab. The Design tab is where you will program the slider's properties, and it has four sections. They are Slider Properties, Arrange and Align, Size and Position, and Publish. The Slider Properties section is where you will program the slider and its associated variable, and it consists of 6 text entry fields. When you insert a slider, Storyline will automatically assign a number variable to the slider. A number variable assigns a number to an item, or Storyline can use it to perform a mathematical operation. In order to keep the variable identifiable when performing the calculation or representing it on the slide, the variable will need a unique name. The default name will be slider with a number. The first slider inserted in the lesson will be given the number 1, and the second will be given the number 2, etc. It is recommended that you rename the slider variable to something meaningful and tied to the slider's function. This way, when you go back to troubleshoot the lesson and slider, you are able to know which slider you are adjusting. This variable name will also show up on the variable window. Beneath the variable text entry field is the Update field. There are two options when the slider variable will be updated: when the learner releases the mouse, or while the slider is being dragged. The learner will select the slider and hold the mouse button as he or she moves the mouse along the track. If you have selected when the learner releases option, the variable will not change until the learner releases the mouse button. At that time, whatever the slider's value is will now be assigned as the slider's numerical value. But if you selected the second option, the variable will update as the mouse moves along the slider. The start and end fields are used to determine how many stops there are in the slider. The start value is the smallest value, and the end value is the largest value. Once you've entered both of these numbers, the slider will evenly space out the stops for each of the other slider values. The step text entry field determines the difference between each stopping point on the slider. This will need to be a whole number. You cannot select 0.25. One thing to remember is there is a difference between using a start value of 0 and a start value of 1. If you have a start value of 0, an end value of 5, and a step value of 1, then the slider will have 6 stop points. They will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But if you change the start value to 1, you will have 5 stop points: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The initial text entry field allows you to set the initial or default value for the slider. When the slider first appears, this is the value that sets where the learner will see the slider before he or she moves it. The second section is the Arrange and Align section. Like on other tabs, you can use this section to set the object's priority over other objects, and which objects will appear in front of which objects, create a group of objects, rotate the object's appearance, or physical alignment of items to the slide or each other. The Size and Position section gives you the ability to enter specific pixel values, to move the slider to a different location or adjust the size. Because this is an object and not an image, you can adjust the width without affecting the height. If you want to maintain the aspect ratio, you can open the Size and Position pop-up window and lock the aspect ratio. The last icon on this tab is the Publish tab. Here you can preview or publish it. Remember, there are multiple options for publishing. Do you need others to review it? Will it be a video? Is it being uploaded to a website or LMS? Or do you need a Word document?